The Iran missile strike on the UAE, oil rips, and the Dow drops 557. The Fed holds, but four governors dissent, the most since 1992, and records last Friday, but red ink today. What changed, and what does this mean for the week going forward? It's Monday, May 4th. I'm Charles Brown, your portfolio manager, and this is the CB3 Financial Weekly Update. Last Friday, the S&P closed at 7230, which is a record high. The NASDAQ 25,114, also a record. The Dow did not follow. And today, the markets diverged, and both the S&P and the NASDAQ were lower. The Dow was a lot lower, 1.13%. So still, April was the best month since 2020 for the S&P and the NASDAQ, as they both notched their strongest April since the pandemic, since the COVID pandemic. And the VIX, now at 17, is calm, but it spiked intraday on the Iran headlines. Here's the frustration for Americans, and I'm speaking for myself and many people that I know, including some clients who are saying they're tired of hearing President Trump say, just another week, now it's another 2 weeks, now it might be 3 weeks more. But we're more than 2 months into this, and it looks like Iran still has the capacity to fire missiles at the U.S., at U.S. ships, and sure, we're taking out their ships. But the reality is that this war is still very much in progress, and we have not totally disabled their ability to defend themselves at all. And that puts market participants on edge. Energy was the only S&P sector that was green on Monday, which helps us in CG, of course, as we have the XLE ETF in there. Materials and industrials hit the hardest. Dow, weakest of the three. Home Depot, Nike, Boeing led the drag. Russell 2000 had a monster April, up 11% year to date, best month since 2024. But it's hard to put all your eggs in that basket when the Russell 2000 is the most volatile of the major four indices that we track. Semiconductors doing well, winning 22 out of 23 sessions. We have holdings there in both CG and DS. But the reality is, folks, until this war gets settled, until gasoline prices in the U.S. come down, people are still going to be jittery, even with the market here right under lifetime highs. So what's the catalyst for this Iran situation? So the UAE intercepted Iranian missiles, first activation since the ceasefire, but it definitely puts their neighbors on high alert. Israel, Bahrain, and Bahrain declared a state of alert. So the Strait of Hormuz, Trump's Project Freedom, launching to escort trapped vehicles out of the strait. I'm just wondering why that's having to happen. We have these huge battleships over there. I mean, obviously, I'm not a military expert, but being a portfolio manager and looking out for my clients' accounts and still seeing the volatility, which at any moment this market could trigger and be down 2 to 3%, which is why we maintain the options hedging that we have. Now, it is a truth that the option hedging has not helped us this year. It has at various times during the year, but overall, as of today, Monday, May 4th, it's definitely a negative because the market rocketed higher in April. But had we been down 5 or 6%, you guys would have been really glad that we had that protection. This is a time when we needed insurance for a period of time, but it did overall drag down the performance of all three of the major portfolios. So Warsh is definitely got the ear of the president, and I think certainly the president has the ear of Warsh, but Warsh is not going to just parrot whatever Trump says to do. That's just not going to happen. He has a reputation to uphold as well. And there were 4 dissents on the decision on the rate cut this last meeting. And that is a record, as I said in the opening lines of this program. So still, folks, you got to face that we may not have a rate cut this year at all. So for those of you looking to refi your mortgage, probably not going to happen this year. So Powell is staying on the board of governors. He's not going to be the chair, obviously, but he's keeping his seat. And this will be the first time that this has happened since 1948. Usually when a Fed president goes off of the Federal Reserve, they leave. Well, Powell's not doing that. He's just going to play second or third fiddle to Kevin Warsh, probably just to irritate Donald Trump. So he's framing it this way. I'm all about Fed independence, and this is a historic moment, and that's what I'm going to do. So There you go. The Fed has weathered 4 supply shocks: the pandemic, Ukraine, tariffs, and now Iran oil. I don't think they've come through in particularly great fashion, but here we are, still, again, almost at lifetime highs, with a Fed that's bumbling, with just internal acrimony between the Fed and the president. It's just not good. So, got a big show on May 14th. It's been a few weeks. The way the calendar worked out, we had to go early in April, and it's near the latest day it can be. In fact, the 14th is the latest day it can be, because if it were the 15th, we do shows on the second Thursday. That would be the 8th. But this is the second Thursday of the month, so that's when the show will be. And there's going to be so much to talk about. Iran, the Fed transition. We should know more at that time from Kevin Warsh, what it means for our portfolios. Obviously, some strategy updates for capital growth and growth and income, GI. So hit the bell, subscribe, bring your questions. We're going to be doing a quick recap of the Iran situation with some graphs and things I've got worked out so you guys can just understand. I'm trying to bring you peace of mind. That's why I'm here. I can't make this war go away. I can't make the warring factions in Washington go away. But what I can do is say, stick through the process. We definitely have a well-defined investment process with our hedging, and it's available for any of you that want to see it on the fact sheets that are on the website. And if you really have an interest, I have made my individual company research available to some people that have asked for it. And if you just want to know what our thought process is on how we're deciding what stocks go in your portfolio, I'm happy to share that with you, okay? Thanks for listening. It's been the weekly update. Plan to see you in a week for the next one. And again, put it on your calendar, Thursday, March 14th. We will see you then.